day, and welcome back to another stream of Pentiment. As part of our historical order run, we are going to dive today into the second act of the game and the first major time jump in the story. Last time we took care of the murder investigation and the trial, and we decided to have our evidence pointed towards the prior Ferenc. So he was the one being accused in the end to be executed for the murder of a Baron. But as we know, there's been like a thread puller, someone who's been delivering the messages towards different people within, Tassing and the Abbey, and trying to get them to, attack the Baron. Surely, one of them would eventually succumb to the desire. And as you know, the Baron didn't really have lots of friends, neither in the Abbey nor in Tassing, so many different people would have had a reason to want him to die. But yeah, so that part is finished. Meanwhile, Andreas has traveled a bit more. He returned to Nuremberg for a couple years and opened his own workshop. He now has like commissions abroad, and he's accumulated a lot of wealth. So he's far away from being an apprentice at this stage. But yeah, the reason he returns to Tassing is actually because his brother Piero, the one who was initially accused of a murder, who Andreas tried to save, he has now died to old age, basically. He wasn't the youngest anymore. And he returns to pay his respect, but he's not welcome anymore at the Abbey. People kind of like despise him there now after Andreas's, kind of like presentation at the trial, which led to one of his, to the priors, dying. But who knows, he might still be welcome in Tassing. That's what we're going to find out today. And yeah, we're gonna see how much Tassing has changed in 7 years. It's really cool because, all the people have also, of course, become older. So, like, the small children we saw in the beginning of the game, they are, like, now in their teens or something. Hello, Vashilla. Welcome in, dude. And good day. Ahoy. My favorite new word. Aha. I've actually added the whole aha sound to the sound bits as well, to the success sound. There's still only a slight chance that, it's going to be actually redeemed. I can just play it myself. That was GTA 4.
Aha.
There it is. Aha. Just had to add that. Hello there, Mr. Goody. Welcome in. Aha, hoi. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. June 22nd, 1525. And here we are, back as Andreas. And now we have our very own apprentice here. The room is sparse compared to what I'm used to. I'm not tired yet, perhaps after Campline, or Campline. It's, or Compline. It's a monastic hour corresponding to 8 p.m., one of the little hours of prayer. The monks and nuns retire to their dormitories shortly afterward. Shall you okay? Getting used to new mats, so it's couch day for you. Ah, I gotcha, dude. Yeah, that's definitely understandable. Gotta first get, Like you gotta acclimate first to it. And your body's, getting used to it, I guess. But I hope, that you can get some good rest in and that we're gonna help soon to work as intended. Okay, so it's a bit too early for bedtime yet, so we can still have a look around this tavern. Hello, Andreas. How are you enjoying your stay? It's been wonderful, Hannah. Thank you. Oh, good. You're the best room we have. I'm glad it's your liking. Was there anything else? No, thank you. Until later. Until then. Good day, Master Maler. Ah, Master Maler, is it? Hello and welcome to the Golden Hand. I'm Nico Berger. I own this landhouse and run it with my wife, Hannah, and our son, Kilian. I believe my boy helped you for your room. Is it to your liking? It's lovely, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here for a few years back. Yes, I worked for the Abbey as an artist. Ah, I see. I heard that you were involved in solving a murder. Yes, out of necessity. The wrong man was being accused of a crime, a friend of mine. I heard it was the prior at the Abbey, that the Baron was a sacrifice in some diabolical spell the brother was casting. Let's actually talk about it further. No, he wasn't casting a spell. The Baron wasn't a sacrifice. Where did you hear that? Oh, bits and pieces that people have said here and there. It sounds like the story has changed in the last 7 years. I mean, no offense, Master Maler. I just find it to be an interesting story. I have to go. Oh, of course, of course. Again, I meant no offense. Well, I leave you to your day. Until later. Until then. I don't want to like rub it into his face further, Like, it is a story, it is a story people tell, and it's also something that really happened, but as Andreas says, it's not like, he even says himself, that it's a story that has changed over the years. Hello, Andreas. Brother Wojslav uses time in almost all of the Abbey's cooking, maybe because it grows so easily here. Just do it. You know it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you. Otto, I'm scared. It's dangerous to cross this abbot. Would you prefer the alternative? You don't need to do that, Otto. I understand. I'm just saying... Andreas? Andreas Mahler? It's good to see you again, old friend. Otto, you're looking well. This is my apprentice, Kaspar Ziegler, from Salzburg. Salzburg, a small city located in the river Salzach and founded on Roman ruins. Rumors of violence and rebellion in the city are becoming more common. Kasper's hometown. Good day. Ah, that answers that. I thought he might be your son. We don't grow them that fast, even in Nuremberg. They grew fast enough around here. Eva and I just had our first. Little Otto, wo we call him Ötz. There he is. Little Ötz. Glad to hear, Mr. Godi. And yeah, doing quite well. It's a chill day over here. Well, it's pretty hot outside, but I'm staying cool inside. It's like 31 degrees today, Celsius.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
That's true, that's not your problem. Not in Australia anyways. You got like 10 degrees Celsius. Congratulations to you both. That's wonderful news. Thank you. It's been a trial with Dad gone, but Clara and Ursula help out where they can. And there's Ursula. And how much she has grown, like a young teenager now. Well, I mean, not really teenager. I think she was like 2 years old when we first meet her, so she must be like 9 at this point. You want the heat back? Honestly, I would gladly trade 31 degrees for 10 degrees. I mean, I don't mind like a bit of summer weather now at this point. And I do like the seasons, but on a regular basis, I much prefer 10 degrees. I'm sorry to hear about your father. That's life. At least he's with God now, free of his aches and pains. I know Eva wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back? I'm sorry, things got busy after I left Tassing. Sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back. I feel like I should remember your face, but I can't place it. Oh, don't trouble yourself. It's me, Martin. Remember? Ah, yes, of course. Hello, Martin. Hello. Sorry to run, but I have to get these sheep back to the farm. As much as I love whiling away the hours in the meadow, I have a lot to attend to. Sir Martin seemingly has changed a lot. Not only does he look different, but the last time we saw Martin, he didn't want to do anything to do with guarding sheep. In fact, he stole valuables and then ran away to flee Tassing and his family. Otto, I see you at the meeting later. Andreas, until later. The last time I saw... Until then. Pain in my ass. I can't believe how much Martin's changed. True, he's like the prodigal son. Took over his father's farm after Franz died. He's been a much better husband to Brigitte and provider for Pat. Franz died? How's the wolf doing? Franz's heart gave out. Local legend says he was screaming at Kat and he dropped dead. Well, hate to say it, but that's a fitting ending. That dude was just so angry all the time and he took it out on his family, like verbally and physically. So the fact that that's what eventually killed him. Yeah, goodie. It's me, Martino. Not that I wanted anyone to suffer, but few were sad to see that man go. And little Wolf, he died a few months after you left. I think Martin still feels guilty about it. Something happening in town? You've picked an interesting time to visit. Come by the town common in a while. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say. I didn't realize you were in the business of giving speeches. I definitely attend. Sounds good. Until later then. The many petalip kinkefoil. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. Oh, Schlau. Schlau's still alive. Oh yeah? A good cat. Okay, so I'm not gonna go to the Abbey just yet because we've just been there and we are not welcome. So let's go into a village. I wanna go to Dorcas because they're old friends. Andreas, I'd heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you. Good morning, Father Thomas. You're not going to try to get me to come to Mass, are you? I would hope that over many years since you were with us in Tassing, attending Mass has become a habit. That and I'm sure Master Mahler isn't staying through Sunday. Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. Well, have a bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People get up to all sorts of mischief. St. John's, the feast in celebration of St. John the Baptist, beginning at sunset on June 23rd, coincides with Midsummer's Day and the summer solstice. And then it's my job to hear the confession in the days that follow. Not to mention the grumbling the peasants are making. Let's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guests with such things. I'm sure if there's trouble, Master Mahler will be the first to stick his nose in it. So I want to be a bit of a like a forbild to my apprentice. So yeah, I'm not gonna like call him an arsehole here in front of Caspar. More majestic medieval mysteries, indeed. That's a lot of M's there. Very nice. Hello again, Dr. Darling, and welcome in. Hope you're having a nice day so far. Yeah, so we're now 7 years after the events of the first act, so everyone has changed quite a bit here. It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. After Frank was executed, Father Abbot made Mathieu the new prior. Frank may have been annoying, but Mathieu is even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if he had simply allowed Brother Piero to die. After all, he only had a few years left anyway. I don't know. I feel like at this point I have to respond. But then again, it's not gonna solve anything at this point. Like, if he wants to insult me, go ahead. I don't care. At least that much. Nothing to say for yourself? Friends. There's no need for such ire. Forgive me, Father Thomas. I let my passions get the better of me. Besides, that's not even why I came down here. I actually came to speak to you on the abbot's behalf, Andreas. Father Gernot would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. The abbot just had me run off and now he wants me back. I can't know the mind of the Father Abbot. I just do what he asks. The library is not quite ready yet, as it does not see much use. If you could come up by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Mother Illuminata? Yes, since Mother Cecilia passed a few years ago. So Father Gernot is just like, well, you're not welcome, Andreas, but actually you're quite rich now, aren't you? How about you come back and actually buy some of our books, because we have to make some money. And we also don't really care for the books. How did she die? Peacefully, in her sleep. So, tomorrow morning? I come by to take a look. Very well. I will let him know. And Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rash. Brother Piero was a pious man and a skilled artist. We miss him. See? That's why I didn't insult him back, because I felt like, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna go down on your level. Clearly, you have to say these things right now, and you have to get that, like, out of the word. But I'm not gonna, like, play along. And big surprise, you actually get a apology in return. Jesus Christ. It's one of those times I wish I wouldn't go for an archetype choice. Because this would actually be a good opportunity to get more friendly with Guy. You know, because clearly there's some, like, humanity in Guy and some things he cares about. But this is just gonna, like, backfire. At least I would assume. But yeah, I wanna go for the archetype choices because they're the ones leading to unique outcomes, so... An excellent performance, Brother Guy. I almost believed it. Yeah, that will be remembered. And not in a good way. Andreas, please. It's fine, Father. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? Yes, I think so. Why? A private matter. Oh, of course. Of course. Until tomorrow. God bless you, Andreas. Well, he didn't take too bad to it, actually. I guess the fact that I didn't insult him back was more important to him than, you know, saying that. Druckers aren't here, are they? Ah, they are. Klaus and Magdalene. And Magdalene is gonna become a very important character later on. So definitely gotta remember her. Andreas. I'm sorry, Klaus. I know it's been a long time. 7 years. 7 years and nothing from my friend Andreas. First Bert, then Marie, just after Magdalena was born. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back after I told you they had passed. Man, I feel so bad for Klaus. Losing his son, then his wife, and, being left to raise his daughter all by himself. Also running the, printing press. All by himself. I'm sorry, I should have written. Yes, you should have. Too late for that now, though. Boopy Bobo. Oh, hello. She likes you. Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing? The 12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lords. Handlung, Artikel und Instruktion für genommen worden sein von allen Jesus. That's like really difficult to read for me. Hausen der Pauren für sich zusammen verpflichtet haben. Something like that. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt and use the woods as God intended, freedom from compulsory labor. Abolition of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, the return of property to common use and ownership. Bavaria is in Swabia, but their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing. Swabia, a former duchy in the southern Holy Roman Empire, it was reformed as the Swabian Circle in 1512. It borders Bavaria to the west, the Swiss Confederacy to the south, and Austria to the southeast. The laws may not be just, but they are the laws. I fear the people of Tassing are putting themselves in peril. They're already in peril. Many of them are becoming desperate. The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back. The cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gärtners lately, you should visit them. And Otto had you print these? Yes. Why? Well, I didn't think he could read. He can't, but just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print. Just trying to do my part, I suppose. I'm sorry, I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the Commons, hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing. I understand. Until later, Klaus. Until then. Let's actually check out for North Town. We haven't been there yet. The Rathaus construction is going smoothly. I wonder if they will finish it before winter. Rathaus. A community hall where people meet, typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord. Tassing is lucky to have so much wound naturally growing. I had to buy it back in Nuremberg. So many people. Everyone, listen. We all know why we're here. Nothing I'm going to say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us, restrictions on how we can pay rent, limits on where we can move, who we can wed. And now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal and garment, takes half of our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children. What about the town council, the Rathaus? Surely that is a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power, to listen to our grievances? You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us, to pit a favored few against the many. This is not charity, no. Only greed and desperation drive Father Gernot. You'd think that if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. And when we protested, what did Father Gernot do? He locked the shrine of St. Moritz. He won't allow the people of this town, like farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gernot's actions aren't just. They aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Too right. Hear, hear. Yes. This has to stop. Let's fix this. Stop, this is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you incur the Duke's wrath. You could get the town razed and everyone killed. Hannah's right. The Duke is a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't relent, you'll be ground into dust like the Swabian peasants. We could always grind you up instead, Lenhard. They might be right if there are already soldiers about. I don't know about this, I have to look out for. We must stand for what is right. God is on our side. Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause. We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard. If the people can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, then we can do the same with the abbot. Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is alright? Don't worry, the civilian losses were minimal. They're probably fine. Oh no, maybe we should go to Salzburg after this. Enough is enough. We can't stand by while the abbot continues to treating us poorly. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same? A righteous cause. Martin's right. We deserve better. We can do this. Well spoken, Martin. Everyone ought to consider what he said. Martin has proved dependable these last few years. Hello there, Bioshock. Welcome in. And good day. But if the words of men can't persuade you, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of our saint shrine, but God has shown me that he is with us. I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you all for coming. Good day, Andreas. Clara, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Tassing. At this rate, we thought we'd never see again. I was gone too long. I'm sorry for not sending word of my arrival. You certainly did pick an odd time to visit. We're in the middle of a strange season. Ah, you found the Gärtners. Your speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear, they get better each time. I hope the Duke doesn't catch word of this, Otto. The town could suffer for it. We're past the point of carrying Marla. If you were in our position, you'd understand that. You're right, it's not my place to judge. I'm just concerned. It's appreciated, but we know the risks. Oh, cool. We did convince Otto to talk about his sign from God. Because we understood why many people hate the abbot. Otto, did you really see a sign from God? Is that true? It is, Andreas. I swear. Come, talk to me later. I tell you what I can, alright? Anyway, Andreas, you and yours should come by for the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you. Sound good to you, Caspar? Yes, Master Andreas, I'm starving. Our table's a little sparse lately, but we'll be sure to feed you well. Thank you. We will see you there. Andreas, you're back in Tassing? Just for a few days, I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Oh yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talked to him sometimes on my breakups at the Abbey. I'm surprised Prior Frank didn't give you an earful. Well, he did before the unpleasantness. I'm sure you know it shook up things at the Abbey for a while. I would imagine. Awful business it was. Anyway. My fierce prior now. Still strict, but a bit quieter about it. He has a reserved Swiss temperament. I take that over Frank's outburst. You get no disagreement from me. Still, even if a prior is easier to get along with, the abbot's gone from bad to worse. Oh? Are you in with the peasants, Andres? Well, of course. Gernot has been uniting them, running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. I hope things don't get bloody. Bloody? No one wants that, Andreas. But we're not going to get anywhere by keeping quiet. You have a good advocate in Otto. He's a good man and he speaks the truth. The whole town knows it, even Lenhard, though he wouldn't admit it. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here and returned to Nuremberg, I take it you were married? I was. Sabine, she was waiting for me. I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not found anyone. I fear it's never going to happen. Really? Not a single person has caught your eye? Well, when I was in Innsbruck for a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market, selling, painting pots. I think about her sometimes. Maybe more than is Christian. Hold on. You need to go back to Innsbruck and find the pretty girl. What? Really? Life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. Trust me. You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish. Juvenile, you might say. I may not have found true love, but that doesn't mean that you can't. Are you not happy with your life, Andreas? I'm not. But this isn't about me. It is about you. Well, if I ever have a chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. Hehe. There's something to look forward to after all. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. Until later, Andres. Until then. Hello, Andreas. Hello? Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? You used to poke me in the foot with a stick to wake me up. I did? You did. I stayed in the room upstairs. I kind of remember that. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in Aragon, I learned a new technique to make colors that... No, not about the art, Andreas. About your travels. So this is really cool because if you actually decide to feed her fantasy and kind of like tell her tales, you know, that's going to change how she turns out later. You know, if she takes an interest to the stories of Tassing, for instance, and the ancient Roman, you know, legends. And about the real story behind the saints. So I'm gonna try to push that, you know, quite a lot. I'm gonna tell her all the stories she wants to hear. Alright. In the forest of Aragon, I saw a giant. What? They call him Basayarao. He's 9 feet tall. His beard is as long as Big Jörg's whole body. 1 foot is like yours or mine, but the size of a whole pig. The other is a tree trunk. He whistles to the shepherds when storms are coming, so they can get their flocks to safety. How did you see him? I was in the forest and he spied on me because I was eating bread, which everyone knows is the Basayaro's favorite food. I wish I could see a giant someday. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories about Perchta and the White Hunt? The White Hunt. In Germanic folklore, the White Hunt is a supernatural cavalcade of saints and fiends, spirits and fiends, which may cause destruction or portend war and other catastrophe if not adequately appeased. The White Hunt is often led by a legendary figure such as Pächter or the Devil. And you might also recognize the White Hunt from the game The Witcher 3 White Hunt. It's based on the same kind of like folklore. Of course, I lived in Switzerland for a while. They believe in Pächter too. They all call her Dame Hulde, where I stayed in Basel. Why? Are they bad? Bad how? People say my grandpa used to talk about Pächter and spirits and charms. And the old woman Ottilia, she talks about them too, and says all these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. So why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says that I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Ottilia says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. Hello there, Mita. Welcome in, dude. Aha! Crooked is live.
Aha. Aha.
Aha! Oops, wrong stream. How's it going? It's going very good, Amita. Thank you for asking. Having a nice chill day over here. We've been starting on the second act for Pentiment now. It's now 7 years after the first act took place. So it's really cool revisiting the city and, you know, the people and seeing how much they have changed. Yeah, I've added that sound bit to my success sound bits selection. Rod's playthrough definitely inspired that. Why are you asking me? I'm afraid if I ask someone else, they'd tell my dad, or worse, Father Thomas. So, are they bad? No, they're not bad. You should learn what you can, why you can. So I really wanna push her towards exploring the past here and the old ways. Really? Hell yeah. We got her to embrace the old ways. Yes, it's important for you to carry on the stories and knowledge of your ancestors. Oh, that makes sense. Thanks, Andreas. Until later. Oh yeah, we did it. Success. Oh, very nice, Amita. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing well. And that you can, you know, relax a bit now after work. That's good. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? You know, vote every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I give her a grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. You shouldn't rush something as important as children. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone as successful as you, maybe she'd pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for a festival. I'll leave you to it. Until later, Veronica. See you, Andreas. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down for supper. Care to join? Yes. Knock knock. Ada. Maybe it was Arnie who threw Ada down. He's responsible for Ada falling. Mystery solved. Hello, Varod. Welcome in, dude. Thank you so much for the raid. And welcome into all of you raiders. How was the rest of your playthrough? I'm sure you guys heard it enough already today, but I've added that sound bit now to my success sounds. Aha. Also welcome in, Lucinda. Good day to you. Good to see you again. I hope you had a nice breakfast. Well, if you had it already, that is. Knock knock, it's Ada. Hello there again, Senny. It's going very good, yeah. Made a start on the second act, so it's now 7 years after the first act took place. And it's really cool, you know, because everyone has changed. You know, like the small child you can see there at the table with the red hair, you know, she used to be like 2 years old when we first saw her. And she like barely remembers us. But it's so cool like seeing her now and like all the others. But yeah, also some people have left Tassing, some have died. But there's also, you know, like, of course, children now that have been born in the time that we haven't been here. So it's really cool seeing, you know, the place kind of changing over the years. And it's gonna change further in the final act of the game. But yeah, Andreas, the character we're playing, he's now a very accomplished painter. Getting like commissions abroad, and he's become quite rich actually. So far away from being an apprentice in the first chapter. Welcome back, Amita. Long time no talk. Like a couple seconds, pretty much. Also, Lucinda, thank you so much for the resub. For 45 months, thank you so much. Aha! Yeah, the aha virus is definitely expanding. New sound bits, new words like aha hoi. It's gonna become like its own brand eventually. At some point you gotta create like some merch with aha on there. The aha merch. Yeah, Mita. What about great, thanks. You got 10 levels done. The next few levels take place in Tibet. So we'll be starting level 11 next Saturday. The aha count is now 203. Damn. I was actually wondering how many it would be by the end of a playthrough. But yeah, I kind of expected it to get maybe into the triple digits, but I thought maybe like more in the hundreds. But yeah, I mean, by the end of a playthrough, who knows, you might get even above 300 total. But that's a lot of ahas. That's more ahas than high precision Garrus in a playthrough. I guess he's going to rival Leonardo as a painter. Yeah, who knows, maybe Leonardo's a big inspiration for Andreas. It's close enough in time. It's kind of cool actually, because one of the backgrounds you can choose for Andreas is that he studied in Italy, among other places. Also, Amita, dude, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription as well. Thank you very much, dude. I hope you enjoy all the emotes that we have. Hello there, Sarah. Welcome in, dude. And good day. You thought that said return to tossing. Yeah, return to tossing. Don't toss me. That reminds me of The Lord of the Rings. You know, the second movie when Gimli has to be tossed by Legolas. And it's very important to Gimli that only Legolas knows and nobody else. It's like, it's too far to jump. You have to toss me. There's a hype train? Yeah. I think it's triggered by 2 events happening back to back. So in this case, 2 subscriptions. It's like a pretty low threshold in that regard. What about you, Seraph? Damas?
It's like a shit took a shit.
What Arthur said? Nice, Amita. Yeah, it was also one of my favorite emotes right there. The Bully McGuire, but also really love the Jin silly smile. Take it easy, I'm just needling ya. Classic. That's something you're gonna hear a lot in my playthrough in Red Dead 2. I love the whole antagonize and greet, option that you have. In general, how you can play around with like antagonizing and greeting. For example, doing 2 greets and then antagonize. Because it builds up kind of like a friendly, interaction first. Only to end with an insult. Yeah, same here, Rod. It's like, that a nice horse you're having. Would be a shame if something happened to it. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too goddamn much. Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Fine. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray again to our beloved Christine, gone now these many years. And also for my father, taken from us by the merciless greed of that bastard abbot. Peter, forgive me, Lord, and please help me to forgive these who have wronged us. Through Christ, our Lord. Amen. 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 Makes you think of Monty Python's skit about an employee who alternates being rude and polite to his customers. That would definitely confuse them. It's like, talking to 2 persons at once. Like, who am I talking to right now? Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? Well, this is like more like whispering, I guess. It's not like, we're gonna talk to everyone here. The Gärtners can't afford a lot of bread. They're being polite. Andreas, it's so good to have you at our table again. And with another guest. Is this young man your assistant? Caspar, yes. He's my apprentice. Ah, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. let's have some of that rye bread. Do you still draw in your journal, Andreas? Oh, sometimes, when the mood strikes. Wouldn't that be nice, Jörg, if we only had to work when the whim took us? And we toil all day, and that despicable abbot is starving us while he sips on his Sacramento fucking wine? Lay off him, Dad. He's only just got here. I can tell that people are really angry. But yeah, to give a bit of context, so the year 1525 is also one of the years of the major farmer revolts that happened across different towns in the Holy Roman Empire and like nowadays Germany. And it's one of the precursor kind of like revolts to the French Revolution, really. You know, like striking the same vein and asking for the same things. Only that, like many others before the French Revolution, they weren't successful. You know, they eventually got stricken down in a bloody matter. And those that survived or just got caught, you know, they had to basically pay some pretty hefty fines. So they were forced, you know, to kind of like continue living in that system. But yeah, you know, the abbey and the abbot is basically just raising the taxes every year and asking for more, and the people can't even go into the forest anymore to pick like some mushrooms or like go fishing, you know. Even that they're not allowed to do anymore. And of course no one can hunt. Like all the hunting is reserved for the aristocracy and the clergy. They also talked about that in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Though I kinda wished it had like more of a gameplay aspect, because if you know, hunt and kill some animals, it doesn't have like that big of a repercussion. Lucinda, going to go into lurk mode and get your day started. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you so much, Lucinda. I really appreciate it. I hope you also have a great stream if you're streaming today. And thank you also so much again for the resubscription as well. For those of you that haven't checked out Lucinda's channel yet, definitely consider doing so. She's a massive fan of Resident Evil and she's playing through the series at the moment. Right now working on Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Very great streamer, has also really good community, and there's always great discussions going on there. And lots of fun to be had. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, then definitely do so. And you, Lucinda, have a good one. I hope you enjoy Resident Evil if you're playing it. And no worries either for the shoutout. Thank you also, Rod, for giving the shoutout fair to Lucinda. And yeah, definitely catch you later. And thanks for the lurk as well. Okay, let's have some cheese. So normally I wouldn't go for the choice, but whenever we have a choice that's related to the archetype that we're having, in this case craftsman, we're gonna go for it. In this case we're gonna lie. The house looks good, very sturdy and freestanding. Ugh. The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid. You must have noticed that Peter's father is no longer with us. The winter after you left was a difficult one. With all of the taxes we owed, it was hard to make ends meet. We didn't. We didn't make ends meet. Dad. A little kindness from the abbot could have spared us, but no. Okay, I'm gonna take credit here for that, because they asked us to, you know, ask for an advance on the rent, and we didn't get them convinced to give us the money. still freestanding, it walked off. Yeah, it's about to pretty much. About to be pulled away here, quite literally. And, you know, it's not like the abbot or the abbey cares about any of it. You know, they are built in the mountains, so any rain that comes down is basically sparing them. But Tassing, the village, is like built at the foot of a mountain, so all the water's like gathering there and is having like a huge negative impact on the people. Unfortunately, that's how many villages were built, you know, because it was of course more important for the clergy to survive or not to deal with any problems. And it's still an issue today, like in the region of the Alps. You know, like there's lots of villages that are built in the foots of the mountains, and sometimes just natural disasters or like lots of snow melting or whatever, you know, comes down. And just now, like 2 weeks ago or so, there was like a Swiss village that just got completely destroyed pretty much. Like fortunately everyone could be evacuated, I think, before it happened, but yeah, like nothing they could do about it really. At least in that moment of it happening, it just got completely destroyed. But yeah, at least there's like more initiatives now about, you know, also major companies, like insurance companies even in Swiss, they're kind of like organized a bit differently. So some of them also kind of like built in favor of the people, you know. And there's like a lot of projects now happening to kind of like build villages in a way that in the event of a natural disaster or something, you know, the damage is kept to a minimum. Probably can't be avoided like fully, but at least you can create like preventive measures, I guess. Rod, I need that money. So I can pay the rent. Yeah, that's pretty much one of the storylines in the Act 1. Like, you can succeed in getting the money for the Gärtners, and then that will lead to Peter's father not dying and surviving, actually. Because the winter then wouldn't be as hard for him to get through. So I'm gonna take the credit for that we didn't succeed in doing so. And apologize. Sorry? Why? You don't control the abbot's cruel heart. Anyway, the debt was my responsibility to pay. And I failed. And this year the whole family's been ill, Andreas. Peter, Ursula with an ache, and me, well. Clara lost a child in childbirth a year ago now. A tragedy. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Andreas. It was some time ago, but, well, such things linger. It was. Ah, I didn't actually realize I could select the thought bubble. Don't think about it, just keep the conversation going. You already thinking about it? I can like really sink into the conversation here. I don't think this is appropriate at this moment. You know, they talk about like their lost child. Don't think about it. Wait, I can't get out of here anymore, can I? Don't think about it. No, I can't cancel this. Fucking hell. Well, I guess I gotta do this. Unless it eventually will let me not think about it. I wonder if the game actually does it like after 20 times or so, if you just stubborn enough or something. But I have a feeling it won't. Okay. Seraph, but I'm sick, I'm poor, I need the money. Oh wait, I found my wallet. The question though, is there anything inside? Please leave me alone, just for a while. Alright, just for a while. Let's remain silent. It seems the Lord rarely looks in on Tassing any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating, not at the table. Please, can we not just talk about this now? Let's have the fresh pottage. Jörki was married while you were away, Andreas. Really? To whom? To me, Andreas. Why else do you think I'm here? Of course, you two make a good match. Jörg has been good to me. There aren't many other options in Tassing anyway. It's been a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married. Congratulations, Jörg. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Andreas. It's been our one blessing in a dark season. With children soon to come, I hope. Haha. Heh. What? I don't get it. Do you? Forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? Foreign patrons are fussy, and I spent a fortune trying to keep my inks wet in canvas drawer while traveling. Christ, Andreas, you're living like a king compared to us. What is it like to travel? You must have seen so much. Ursula, maybe you shouldn't excuse yourself. You should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But Mom, I'm still hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop. Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guests. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. And this is so sad. You know, this is an act of kindness that should be celebrated. The fact that Kaspar is like trying to share, you know, that wouldn't even, like he doesn't have to give like everything, they could just share, you know. I'm sure Andreas and, you know, Kaspar wouldn't have a problem just sharing the bit of bread that they all had with everyone. Because that would be truly Christian, you know, not just being like a good guest and, you know, giving everything to them. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later. My apologies, Peter. We don't mean to overstay our welcome. It's alright, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Yes, thank you for coming, Andreas. Will you be staying for St. John's Eve? I'm not sure yet. Alright, well, maybe we'll see you later. Until then. Also, kind of forgot to give a shout out there earlier when Rod raided in with everyone. But yeah, just want to give another shout out there. For those of you that maybe aren't familiar with Rod's channel yet or haven't seen him stream before, he's currently playing through Tomb Raider. And that is the second game in the series. And for that game, he's doing a playthrough where he's trying to find all the secrets in the game. So like all the, you know, major collectibles, and that kind of like makes Lara say a very specific sound bit. Which is this one. And he's basically keeping track of how many times that is being said in the game. Right now he's up to chapter 10 and there's been about 200 ahas total. And yeah, I reckon there's gonna be many, many more to come. And that's the verse either for the shoutout what? More than happy to give you one. Yeah, I guess it's time to sleep, isn't it? Yeah. Well then, let's go ahead and go back to the inn. Maxi has an aha as well now. Oh, does he? Nice. That's awesome. The aha virus is spreading. The more the merrier. The sin of Saul. The sin of Saul. Master, did you hear that? It sounded like someone crying out. I think it's Sister Amalie. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Sister Amalie, are you alright? The Philistines. This is the hand of God. Compline. 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 Sister, is something happening at Compline? It's Compline right now. No. You're the artist, Andreas. You remember me? Yes. You were here when the Baron was killed. You've changed. In more ways than one. The complexities and difficulties of the outside world are why I'm glad to be in here. I can see and hear the world spinning around me, but I am not a part of it. This cell gives me the peace and isolation I need to feel God's presence. And in the stillness of a storm of a word, a storm sometimes rouses in my soul. I wish Father Thomas were here. Would you like Caspar to get him? If he could, yes. His house is just around the corner. Caspar, run and get Father Thomas. Yes, Master Andreas. Your son? My apprentice, Caspar Ziegler, from Salzburg. He seems eager to please you. He is quite enthusiastic, yes. I've little knowledge of the workings of masters and apprentices. My word is one of spirit, decoupled from the march of life and death. I see and hear your word turning from this little window, but they're mercifully small glimpses. Mercifully small? This cell allows me to contemplate mysteries without the noise of the outside world polluting my thoughts. Your word is a word of normal lives and normal thoughts. It can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of that word. I strive to have no will at all, but to subordinate myself to the will of God. When my will is God's will, His will, He graces me with visions, confusing though they may be. interesting. We have 2 choices here. Wait, what is this symbol again? Not too sure. But we also have a logic choice here. But I think I'm gonna go with this one, because it seems more agreeable with her, and I would like to like find out more about her, you know, how she thinks. Not, you know, argue with her about anything. To join your will, to be intimate with Jesus, as though he were your wedded husband. That is a bold thing to say, Master Mahler. Where did he hear that? I read it in a book written by an English mystic. I had someone make a translation for me. I'm glad you have an interest in spiritual matters. But these are not words to speak lightly, nor ideas to speak lightly of. The revelations we experience can be terrifying to us and to those who witness us experiencing them. They're not dreams, but waking visions of the greatest divine forces. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I am not offended. But it is difficult for us to communicate these experiences through a written word. Sister, what is that hole in the ground? My grave. I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites, before I was enclosed here. I dig a little more in it each day. Most people find it shocking, but this is my devotion, my vocation. Once someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. What if the calling is wrong? I wish I could give you a helpful answer, but I don't know. I felt this was my calling even before I could admit it to myself. It's your calling in question, Andreas? Is your life? Both, I think. I've lost my love. My love for art, love for family, love for anything. The last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. Andreas, thank you for sending Caspar. She asked for you. Are you alright, Sister Amalie? Yes, Father. I may have had another vision. I remember little of it. Master Mahler and his apprentice had nothing specific. That is unfortunate, but I'm glad you're alright. Andreas, Caspar, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help, but I must tend to her now in the church. Alright, good evening. God bless you both. Master Andreas, I'm confused. What did all of it mean? I'm not sure, but the last time I heard Sister Amalie have a vision, it was just before the Baron was murdered. What? Do you think... Could Sister Amalie be receiving warnings? It is easy to think that, especially after the fact, but I was only present for one murder and one other vision. But what if there's another murder? If it happens, I may revise my opinion. Come, Caspar. Let's retire for the evening. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Did you drop this, Caspar? No, I don't think so, Master. You know, this audio bit always kind of like gives me goosebumps almost. Of course, it's also the fact it's like coupled with the messages, you know, that the thread puller is sending us. But also the fact it's kind of like written in German, you know, to me. It's kind of like Monka. I understand this, but no one else. It's like almost addressed to me. But here's written, Ihr wurdet gewarnt, so you have been warned. Because the last time that we left Tassing 7 years ago, the thread puller sent us a message saying, don't ever return. That script looks beautiful, Master Andreas. Did you write that? You were warned. Warned? What does it mean? Warned about what? It has to do with a murder that happened here the last time I was there. How? I thought they caught the murderer. Yes, but it's complicated. Let's just head up to the library, Caspar. Alright, Master. Andreas? Brother Guy, what are you doing out here? Father Gano has asked me to inform the townsfolk that the shrine is closed. Closed? With everything going on? Whatever for? Father Abbot has ordered that we bring the hand into the church. The pilgrims are still welcome to come in and visit the relic, but it is off limits to the townsfolk. What? Why? The abbess has had enough of the peasants and townsfolk rebelling against the abbey. He is their rightful lord. The abbot has been more than generous, but he will not let that 12 articles drivel pass. The abbot refuses to leave the relic at risk of destruction. The hand of St. Moritz is the only thing keeping the abbey open. But Tassing relies on St. Moritz just as much as the abbey. What about the faith of the townsfolk? And they can stop engaging in such heretical and sinful behavior. The abbot is trying to protect the relic, nothing more. What about the peasants' complaints? Father Abbot has done all he can. Until the peasants can see reason, the relic will remain in the church. I pray the townsfolk and the abbey can resolve this quickly then. As do I. God bless you, Andreas. Ah, Florian. Andreas Mahler, how wonderful to see you. Have you been well? Well enough, yes. Good. You look healthy. What brings you back here? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Ah, of course. I'm sorry, Andreas. I know it's a small consolation, but he lived a long life with little pain. He died quite suddenly during, Lauds. It's the monastic hour at dawn, one of the two major hours. It is used for the morning prayer. He was well loved by everyone here, even those who might pretend otherwise. I'm sure he appreciates the gesture. As for your visit, I cannot speak with the abbot's authority, but you're always welcome company. Thank you. Have you been keeping yourself busy these last few years? I've been reading every Italian medical text Klaus Drucker can get his hands on. Really? How many is that? Oh, I haven't counted, but many. Leone Ceno's text on the French disease, which might have been helpful for the Baron all these years ago. The Fasciculus Medicinae, a new printing from Venice. Wonderful woodcuts. Oh, the Flower of Medicine from Salerno. Did you know they've translated into Hebrew? Occitan? Imagine that. Imagine a peasant in the fields of Provence reading the medical wisdom of Salerno. Oh, that's so cool. Florian's font actually changes to the Drucker font now. I love when that happens in the game. Because it's also a way, like kind of like representing the way that Andreas sees people, you know? Like how literate they are. And what kind of like media they might be, you know, using. It's truly remarkable. What a wonder these books are. Ah, I got carried away. Anyway, it's good to see you, Andreas. Until later. One thing I also like is how time-wise the Drucker text appears quicker, you know, than the written out. Because the written out is first like pre-created and then filled out often, you know, and it's kind of like representing the process of the writing. Whereas, you know, printing, of course, was much faster and more efficient. Until then. Actually, let's go into the kitchen. Maybe we can find Brother Voislav. God bless you, Master Mahler. God bless you, Brother Lucas. How have you been? Still working in the kitchen? Yes, I'm still assisting Brother Voislav. I've been making more complex dinners recently for Father Gernot. The rest of the brothers eat simpler fare, but the abbot has the privilege of foods from around the world. Tell me about what you've been cooking. Well, Brother Voislav has shown me how to roast quail and baste it with butter to keep it soft. And I help Sister Gertruda when she goes to the forest sometimes. She's been teaching me about herbs. And what are you doing now? Oh, Brother Voice sent me to collect something for him, but I can't remember what it was. Something from the cellar, perhaps? Probably. There's so much in there, though. Maybe if I bring back a few onions, he'll be happy. We always need more onions. I'll leave you to it then. God bless you, Andreas. Welcome back to Kirsau. What brings you back to the Abbey? I'm returning to Nuremberg, but wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero on my way. Oh, of course. His grave is well kept, I assure you. Thank you, Brother Wojslav. I'm glad to hear it. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough for the St. John's Eve festival? It may be simple compared to those in the cities, but everyone in Tassing looks forward to it. Really? Master Andreas, can we? It's really only an extra day or two. Why not? Yes, thank you, Master. I'm sure it's quite quaint compared to what you're used to, but it's one of Tassing's biggest events. Anyway, I better get back to work. It's good to see you again, Andreas. God bless you. God bless you, Brother Wojslav. Hello? Who is this? It's Andreas, Brother Eddock. Andreas Mahler. Oh. Oh, Andreas, the fine young artist from Nuremberg. Not quite so young anymore, brother. No, you are still young. When you were last here, I thought I was old. I was wrong. Now I feel the true measure of years on these bones. Like the waves of a white sea on the cliffs of Port Hagen. Time has worn me down. Not enough of that. How have you been, Andreas? Successful in body, if not in spirit. I'm sorry, Andreas. The dreams of youth often do not survive the march of years. But take heart that the Lord is always here for us in times of sorrow. You seem more at ease now than when I last was here. Do I? It may be so. I may have worked in the scriptorium beyond the limits of his body. It pained my joints and strained my brotherly love for Guy. The scriptorium took my sight and the use of my hands, but when it closed, it also took the pain from my heart. The abbot is content to let me serve the Lord through prayer and contemplation. And so it also contents me. I'm sorry, Andreas, but I must rest now. It is good to hear your voice at Kirsau again. God bless you. God bless you, Brother Eddock. The scriptorium fell into disrepair quickly after Father Gernot closed the library. Oh, Andreas, you're back. Hello, Sister Zedina. That's all you have to say? Hello? Oh, of course. God bless you, sister. Still an ass, I see. Still, I hear you're a master artist now. I'm impressed. You know, I've grown as well, in a variety of ways. You have to show me sometime. Andreas, I'm not indulging you again. Indulging me? You practically threw yourself at me. I was young and immature. Let it pass, won't you? I'd rather forget about it. Forget about one of the best nights of my life? It was hardly the whole night. I said our fathers that lasted longer than that, Andreas. But what happened afterward was bothersome. Thank God Sister Gertrude knows her plans. I don't... Oh. You fell pregnant? Shh. Yes, thankfully Sister Gertrude helped me end it before a fortnight had passed, so the fetus was yet unformed. I'm sorry I put you in that position. I chose the path as much as you did, Andreas. I'm living with the consequences. If Sister Gertrude's remedy hadn't worked, I would have been defrocked, and my family would have disowned me. I nearly lost everything, all for one stupid fling with you. I was sick for days on end, and still have terrible cramps, but still, it's not as bad as it could have been. I'm grateful Sister Gertrude was able to keep you well. Me too. Ah, that was a good night. I still remember Mother Illuminata's face. I was certainly as shocked as she was. You should have heard the tongue waggling she gave me afterwards. Quite impressive. It's good to see you again, Andreas. Likewise, sister. I should return to my duties. Thank you for speaking with me. Until later. Yikes. God bless you, Andreas. It has been too long. I know Father Abbott made it clear you were not to return when you left, but we had hoped to hear from you. Yes, my apologies. You're right, of course. It's good to see you again, Mother Illuminata. This is my apprentice, Caspar Ziegler, from Salzburg. God bless you, Mother Superior. God bless you, young Caspar. No greeting for your favorite library helper? It's good to see you, sister. You as well. I'm sorry you have to see it in such a state. It sees very little use these days. What happened? After Baron Rotvogel's murder, we had fewer and fewer wealthy patrons. The small number that held lost interest. It's easier to commission new work from the Guild of St. Luke or individual masters in big cities like Nuremberg. The Guild of St. Luke, a regulated trade and sale of art in cities around Europe. Artists who sought to have apprentices and businesses often had to become members of a privilege. Father Ganot saw no reason to keep the scriptorium or library open. Most of the books here have been suffering of neglect. After Mother Cecilia's death, neither I nor Sister Zedena gave the time to maintain our inventory. Piero did say it was going to happen sooner or later. I'm no happier about it than you are, but the late brother was right. Only heaven is unchanging. Now all that remains are books for sale to interested parties, a task that Father Ganot has entrusted to me. And Sister Zedena, of course. Well, I'm eager to look through your inventory. Master Andreas, maybe you could find a book for little Magdalene, something that's not in print yet. Excellent idea, Caspar. Take your time. Make sure you've looked through the whole collection. Parzival. Perhaps Klaus would not object to this romance given its emphasis on Christian virtues. Parzival. A 13th century retelling of the Arthurian hero Percival, written by Wolfram von Eschenbach. Themes of love and chivalry are prominent in this adventure tale. The German is a little dated, but I'm sure she figured it out with Klaus's help. Who knows? Maybe it will inspire her imagination. I think these are Latin translations of some of Origen's homilies. Also, it looks like it's partially burnt. A prolific 1st century ascetic and theologian, best known for his exegetical writings and homilies, influenced the development of the Trinity and the ransom theory of atonement. Probably not a great gift for a young... Wait. This is the same bookend as the notes I found when the Baron was murdered. Whoever wrote this is responsible for writing the notes. I need to ask Illuminata about this. Okay, we can't yet. Not until we finished all the books. A copy of Jacobus de Voragné Godin's legend. Every good Christian should know the legends of the saints. And the Latin is simple enough that she should be able to read it before long. Oh, Richard de Bury's Philobiblon. It's a text on the collection and preservation of books. A 13th century English priest and later Bishop of Durham, Richard de Bury was one of the first private book collectors and is best known for the Philobiblon, which prescribed the care of his collection. Maybe this is where Illuminata and Cecilia learned all the tricks? Certainly a good book for printer's daughter. Albertus Magnus de Animalibus. Shit, I kinda missed out on investigating that. It's ostensibly a bashari, but it contains so much more knowledge on a variety of topics. This could inspire an interest in animals and the natural world. Beautiful illustrations as well. Have you decided on any books to purchase? Yes, just one. Now we can investigate. Albertus Magnus, a renowned 13th century Dominican theologian, philosopher, astrologer, and Bishop of Regensburg. A prolific writer, he was known primarily for his work on Aristotle and his knowledge of natural science. Well, let's go with the Parzival story. A romance, Andreas? I'm a bit surprised. I'm not. Yes, well, it's yours if you want it, of course. It's for Klaus Drucker's daughter, Magdalene. That's even less appropriate, but not my concern. I hope she enjoys it. Is there anything else you need? Yes, Mother Illuminata. What do you know about this book? I don't know anything. This is the first time I've seen it. Where did you find it? I've seen it on one of the lower shelves. I don't think it's in our catalog. It's burned around the edges. Why? How can I find out where it came from? Who wrote it? If it's not in our catalog, I'm afraid I don't know whom you could ask. If it was a recent edition, the only people who would know are Mother Cecilia and Father Matthias. That's a shame, because whoever scribed this book wrote the letters I found while investigating the Baron's murder. The ones in the fine bookend? Brother Eddock told me about them. Perhaps he knows something about this book. He's been here longer than any of us. Why would the person who wrote the letters have scribed the book in our library? Well, that's the question. Whoever did it is the thread puller. Huh? Someone who was manipulating people at Kirsau and Tassing, pulling at threads to provoke someone into killing the Baron. I thought one of the brothers killed the Baron. He did, but the Baron was lured to the chapter house by someone who knew Kirsau and Tassing's secrets. Well, I'm afraid we can't be of any more help to you in determining the book's provenance. However, as it's not in our catalogue and is already damaged, I doubt Father Abbott would mind if he kept it. Excellent, thank you. I'm glad someone bothered to save it from the flames. Okay, let's go ahead and have some supper with the Drucker family. You're back. Good. We're almost ready to sit down to eat. Would you and Caspar care to join us? Of course. Thank you, Klaus. Welcome back, Andreas. Caspar? Andreas, these are my friends. Benjamin and Rachel Sommerfeld. They're on their way back to Prague. An imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, the city's mint made it a hub for German and Italian bankers and merchants, and its university became a gathering place for many Reformation thinkers. Good day. Hello. Excuse me for not getting up. It's a bit difficult. Of course, I understand. It's nice to meet you both. Hello. Fifth per... Hello. That sounded like a real word, Klaus. She's learning more of them every day. She'll be reading before long. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful seg to the gift that I've brought her. Oh. A book from the Epi library. Is this for her or for you? Her, I swear. Parzifal? I'm sure she'll love this. It might make some good bedtime reading until she can read it on her own. Thanks for this. It's a nice thought. We should probably pray before we eat, assuming the Sommerfelds don't mind. Not at all. We're accustomed to being guests in Christian homes. Thank you for asking, Klaus. Alright, I will leave a prayer then. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 Klaus, thank you again for letting us stay here. It's been such a long trip. Oh? Is it time? No, I'm fine, I think. I'm just sore everywhere. Oof. Anyway, we'd hoped to get some home weeks ago, but the fighting has made it slow progress from Basel. Has the fighting come close? Close enough, but we can hear the drums and see the armies. It's too close for me. Rachel being pregnant complicates things, of course. Quite understandable. It's lucky timing for me though. Now I have 2 printers and master artists at my dinner table. True, it isn't all misfortune. Daddy? Oh yes, thank you. And a future printer and a baby printer to be. Tassing hasn't seen this many artists under one roof in a while. It's amazing to see how far printing has come so quickly. Some of the engravings I've seen are incredible. And new techniques, new types, new styles are being developed every year. Benjamin is trying to create a more readable script for Yiddish. We have typefaces for Hebrew, but it would be nice to have something separate for Yiddish. I suppose it would be a little easier to read than the Hebrew square type. Yes, exactly. Spoken like a man who understands the value of legitimately. Legibility? Legibility. I think that's it. That was a bit ironic. We expect our rabbis and the boys in the yeshivot to read Hebrew in the standard type, but it's difficult for others. I'd like our writing to be more accessible, especially to those who only read Yiddish. Here, something like this. I'll be sure to send you some samples when I'm finished, Klaus. Good, I'd like... Oof. Yes, I'm fine. Klaus, what are you working on? I need to get ready to sell to travelers as the pass is open, but lately I've been printing the 12 articles for the town. 12 articles. Thanks to Father Thomas, everyone in town can read at least well enough to make it through that sheet. It's got a lot of people talking, and a lot are coming over to Otto's way of thinking. Well, you heard him yourself, Andreas. What do you think of what's happening in Tassing? I think the abbot is in a difficult position and he's just trying to find a way through it. Well, can he find a way through it that isn't on the backs of every farmer in this town? They've been dealing with these tax difficulties for years. Now they can't even use the forest. The abbot must be able to appeal to some higher authority for aid. I have a Duke of Bavaria. The title is held jointly by 2 brothers, Louis X and William IV. Both are working to suppress the peasant revolts. He could try to sit down with Otto and work something out. Otters tried to reason with him. The abbot won't listen. We're sympathetic to what's happening here. We saw it all throughout Swabia. Peasants are suffering. It's true, but I worry about what will happen in Tassing. Oh. I'm fine. Peasants are no match for the soldiers of the Swabian League. The Swabian League was a military group maintained by the three imperial cities of the Holy Roman Empire. Members included nobles, knights, and hired or retained mercenaries. What is the Swabian League? Soldiers of the Swabian nobility meant to keep peace in the empire. To robbery, murder, and outrage they give the lying name governance, and where they make a desert, they call it peace. My wife reads a surprising amount of Roman history. The rabbis won't let me read scripture, so what do you expect me to do in a house full of books? I know that Otto and the peasants are taking a risk, but I believe Otto will keep things peaceful. Anyway, it's not the Swabian League we have to worry about, but the soldiers of the Duke of Bavaria. Bavaria. The Prince Bishop has the church's authority, but the Duke's lands surround Tassing and Kirsau. Let's have some mushroom pottage. Gonna keep the apple pie as a dessert. Klaus, I'm sorry for what happened to your family, and I'm sorry I never wrote back. That's it. I'm sorry. Pff. Ow. Oh, this is it? This is it? Oh no, I was afraid of this. We can't travel now. This is all my fault. We should have left Basel earlier. I love you, Benjamin, but be quiet. I don't care. I need help. Yes, we need a midwife. Is there one who would accept Rachel? Agnes Steinauren. She's Tassing's midwife. Could you get her? Klaus? Yes, I should get her. Agnes has delivered every child in Tassing as long as I can remember. She would never turn any woman away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Klaus, you're a mensch. You're a mensch? That's basically, you're a human. Like, yes. You're definitely a human being. Enough with the things. Get me the midwife. Yes. Andreas, you're forgiven. Kaspar, it was good to have you over, but you both have to leave. Thank you, Klaus. Good luck, Rachel. Thank you. I need it. I'll go fetch Agnes. Thank you for joining us, Andreas. Oh, I almost forgot. You should go see the bonfire preparations in the town commons. You missed them on your last visit. Klaus. I'm going. Thank you, Klaus. We'll be going. Take care. Whoa, that was an event for supper. Everyone seems to be working hard for the bonfire tonight. The commons look festive, decorated like this. Look at all the flowers, Master, and the bonfire is huge. How's the fire coming? Those logs work out alright for you, Andres? Coming along. It's all in place, Otto? Good, good. Alright, everyone. Remember, after the bonfire tonight, we celebrate as usual. We will all gather in the woods and the woman will collect herbs as tradition demands. Otto, the abbot has forbidden harvesting in the forest. Please, for everyone's sake, reconsider your actions. Thank you, Father, but the abbot's orders goes against God's law. The forest belongs to all of us, as to all its game and fowl and fish. He cannot claim ownership over that which the Lord gave us to hold in common. No, I'm sorry, Father. We will proceed as planned. Tassing has never let anything got in the way of our St. John's customs, as long as I can remember. We won't start now. And remember, tomorrow I will show you proof that as sure as the sun turns round the earth, God and our saints are with us. Good day, Andreas. Hello, Brother Voislav. You looked upset at Otto's announcement. Is everything alright? Otto's becoming more aggressive in his defiance of the abbot. Father Gernot would take this news not well. Well, who's telling? Otto just announced his plan in the comments, and Tassing is a small town. Of course the abbot will hear about it. Fair point. But why is the abbot so angry about it? Didn't you just hear Father Thomas, Andreas? The abbot declared the woods off limits. Anyway, it's not for me to say. I'm sure the abbot will tell you more. He sent me with an invitation for you to dine with him tonight. I'm sure the father will want to discuss the situation over supper. Well, I suppose I can attend. Does your invitation extend to Caspar as well? I'm sorry, Andreas, but Father Abbot has asked you to come to his house alone. Whew. Please tell the Abbot I see him this evening. Well, I guess I see what all the fuss is about. I meet you back at the Golden Hand after dinner, alright? Can I help set up the festival decorations while you're with the Abbot? Yes, but be back before sundown, alright? Yes, thank you, Master. I'll see you later. Yeah, who's a good boy? The noises. That reminds me of my dog as well. Like, not the exact same noises, but Nalu is also quite vocal sometimes. And she's very, very like communicative sometimes. With the noises that she makes. God bless you, Andreas. I'm glad to see you received my invitation. Are you ready to eat? Yes. Good. Andreas, thank you for coming to dinner. will admit, I was surprised to receive your invitation, Father, but I'm pleased to come. Yes, well, when I heard you had returned in Tassing, the Lord convicted my heart to let bygones be bygones. I think it's high time we reconciled, Master Mala. Please sit, and we will pray together. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Lord, direct each of us here towards your wisdom, prudence, and guidance in our future actions. Through Christ, our Lord. Amen. Amen. Brother Voislav was indeed prompt in delivering my message. I'm surprised you deigned... deigned? You deigned drop by at all. You've done quite well for yourself after all. It is good to see that your time at Kirsau was not squandered. You even look the part of a famous artist now. What have you been doing in recent years after leaving such a mess in Tassing? I traveled to Aragon to study the new art and oil techniques there. The journey took me far longer than I expected for. Yes, I've heard of the Inquisition has had a difficult time with the many Jews and Muslims fleeing the country. The Edict of Expulsion. A writ issued in 1492 expelling all practicing Jews from Spain. The edict resulted in pogroms and persecution led by the Catholic Church, also called the Alhambra Decree. I understand the Edict of Expulsion, Father, but the Inquisition is brutal in its methods. The Church and Crown have a duty to ensure the safety of the kingdom, Andreas. I'm sure the Inquisition is using exactly as much force as needed. Yeah, right. Of course. Why did you really ask me here a bit? In truth, I had hoped to discuss the rising tensions between the Abbey and the townspeople. I'd like to clarify the situation for you, Andreas. Please, Abbot, I'm all ears. I'm relieved to hear it. I believe you've only heard from one side of the issue, Andreas. Otto's little speeches about taxes don't account for the entire situation. Why demand such high taxes then, Father? We got some Lebkuchen, some plum pudding, some pheasant. Oh, Lebkuchen is more like a dessert, I guess. It's like gingerbread in English. Let's get the pheasant first. With the scriptorium enclosure, the taxes are necessary to make up for the lost income. Monastic scriptoria have been falling out of fashion for a century. You didn't plan for the inevitable by preparing other revenue streams? Don't put the fault on me, Andreas. These taxes are a direct consequence of your actions after you accused Ferenc. You managed the scriptorium. Kirsau was different, Andreas. Until recently, the monastery had patrons like Lorenz to help keep it going. Since then, I've been trying to find other revenue, but the other brothers won't cooperate or hear my ideas, especially Edok. Brother Guy has gone over the expenses himself. Raising taxes is the best way to cover these costs. But what about prohibiting the peasants from using the forest? That's a new restriction. The forest belongs to the Abbey and the peasants have no right to use it. Legally, it's theft. True. Swabian and Bavarian law allow you to control the land as you wish. But the peasants are saying these restrictions go against God's divine law, not any imperial rule, Father. God in his wisdom established the church with his law, and they would do well to remember that. But doesn't God's law account for graciousness and charity? The peasants have exhausted my graciousness and charity for too long already, and have little regard for the church's authority itself. The monastery and church exist to help stop such foolishness, and to help regulate mankind's sin and greed. The peasants and townsfolk have gone too far. I hear they will continue their disobedience by collecting herbs on St. John's Eve. The whole town knows I've forbidden it. The matter is grave, and I will excommunicate anyone who defies my order. That certainly creates an ultimatum. One I'm hoping to not have to use. Remaining impartial will be impossible as long as you're in town. Support me in ending this foolish rebellion. You have a reputation in town, Andreas. You're a successful man, and the townsfolk believe they are like you. I would like you to convince the other townsfolk, the printer for example, that this uprising is not in their best interest. The rest of the town will follow, and the peasants will have no chance to resist. We can end this peacefully. The peasants have genuine grievances. Why not talk with them and negotiate? I am a forgiving man, but Otto's stubbornness has challenged even me. Otto is past the point of talking, Andreas. That's why I'm begging you for help in the matter. Please take more time to think about it. I apologize. We must conclude for now. I must excuse myself. I'm expected to lead the advice at Complina tonight. Think of what we've discussed, Andreas. I trust you can find your way out. I will, Father Abbot. Good night. Well, well. You're that artist, the one that lived with the gardeners. Got mixed up in the wonderful killing of that rat, the Baron. Yes, Andreas Mahler. I know your damned name. Anyway, no time to talk now, fancy man. It's time to call to the fire. Does St. John Eve mean a lot to you? The Saint's Eve, right. Hehe. Auda ans Mama Pächter. As Mama Pächter. Lus Ardain quest guat per ti. We burn for you. VV nus clamain ti. We, you. Redacted, redacted, we redacted you. Ha ha ha. Alright, I'm going to go. Ha ha ha. Enjoy the evening, Andreas. But if you want my advice, stay out of the woods tonight. Ha ha ha. Master Andreas, look at how big the bonfire is. The decorations are so fancy. The St. John's Eve Festival is a big event for Tassing. I missed it last time I was here. Haven't you ever been to a festival like this, Caspar? No, I've never seen anything like this. Can I stay at a bonfire and see the costumes and watch them collect herbs, Master Mala? Please? Alright, but follow along and don't get in the way. I'm too tired for the festival. I think I just turn in for the night. Yes, I promise I won't make trouble. I see you tomorrow, Master. Andreas? Salutations. You must be that illustrious artist. Balthasar Isenkopf. Pleasure to meet you. But call me Balthas, please. It's much more familiar. Master Andreas Mahler. Pleased to meet you. Yes, yes. You're the Mahler, we all know. Let's cut the long-winded pleasantries. What brings you to Tassing, Balthas? Balthasar here decided to stay in this godforsaken town for whatever unfathomable reason after his cart broke. It is not unfathomable. I enjoy the calming vistas, the peace and quiet. It has been neither lately. And what is it that you do, Balthas? He's an inventor of sorts. I make all manner of mechanical contraptions. For all the use it is. The mind of the inventor exists to create, to build, to go one step further. One step further towards the garbage heap, haha. A very inspiring thought, Balthas. Why, I thank you, Master Artist. Speaking of, have you had the chance to look around the town tonight? I imagine the sights could also be inspiring for your artistic minds. Tassing certainly looks cheerful with the decorations and bonfire. Indeed, look at the peasant ingenuity, consider the bonfire itself. It is built to allow the air and the heat to flow through it at great speed, and how it roars. It's a clever piece of construction, but Otto's a clever man. It is a feat almost worthy of a university degree. These people have natural traditions. They've managed to figure out many clever things without even the most cursory education. It is knowledge that holds from preceding generations, lived experience passed along the chain of time. Not quite the knowledge of rigorously educated mind perhaps, but nonetheless useful. Our ancestors are smarter than us, not individually, but taken together. Indeed. We have an inventor's insight. Scribblings on parchment and paint on cloth, truly the work of an intellectual master artist. Neither of you know these people like I do. God has assigned them their place in the order of the world for good reason. There's some merit in learning from the peasants, even you, Werner, given their understanding of herbal remedies. Their traditions are profane. Consider the Eve of St. John, tainted by the pagan rituals. It's an affront to Christ. Saint Eligius warned against precisely this nearly 1,000 years ago. The patron saint of goldsmiths, Bishop of Nyon Tournai, worked tirelessly to convert the pagans of Flanders to Christianity. Well, I hate to go for this option, but we're gonna do it. The reasoning option. And nothing has come of these pagan festivals all of that time. The harm infects a man's eternal soul. You might not see it, but God can. Where has this newfound piety come from? Don't pretend to know anything about me. I've been on the pilgrimage to Aachen. I visited the Marienschrein and stood in the presence of those holy relics. The Marienschrein, an ornate golden reliquary in Aachen Cathedral, it holds the swaddling cloths and loincloths of Jesus, the Virgin Mary's dress, and the decapitation cloth of John the Baptist. To be in the presence of Saint John the Baptist's beheading cloth was an experience I will never forget. John the Baptist, prophet and forerunner of Jesus Christ. As his name suggests, he was responsible for baptizing Jesus. He was beheaded at the command of Herod Antipas. I'm glad you've had an experience. Your family must be proud. They are. Grand. Now, I think it is time we return to the festival. We're here to celebrate. I will let you continue with your evening then. Good night. A very good night. Oh, and do come by my workshop, Master Maler. I would love to exchange ideas. It would be my pleasure. Splendid. Until then. Maler. Hello, Master Maler. Evening, Till. Enjoying the festival? Very much so. I perhaps feel a tad old for the most active side of the celebration, but I enjoy the sights and sounds. Did you know the word for the summer solstice lead back to the Romans? I think that font is like one of the most difficult for me to read sometimes, honestly. The one that Till has. I may have heard that, yes. I thought you didn't read Latin. I've picked up a few words over the years, and I still have a mind to put two and two together. Admirable, I must admit. It's nothing, Master Maler. Mainly proverbs and the occasional word, hence solstitium. Such as it looks at this time of years. The sun? The sun rises higher for a long time, and then it stays there before falling again. A fitting allegory for the great cosmic arc of mankind. Rise and fall. But to make up for that, dancing and leaping songs. Joy and myth. People do seem elated, although I don't think the same applies to Abbot Gernot. Otto's casting danger, I agree. Going against the decrees of the Abbey like so. The festival has always had a rebellious streak of jest and mockery. I don't see it as sacred as some. And what are we mocking? The fool of a community, most like, the vices folks get up to, especially these more important than us peasants. Overall, I think it brings people together. I wish I could read more about all of this. Well, with the Abbey selling books from the library, I hoped I could get some for myself, but it proved to be too far expensive. Klaus and his printing have proven to be of most use, and a fair bit cheaper. Have you come across any interesting tales? I have indeed, Master Maler. Oh, I didn't quite understand everything. The text was in Latin. It was by a Roman named Strabo, and it was about geography. That's why I noticed it. I don't believe I've had the chance to read anything by him. It was a fairly complicated read, I must admit. The book was about many kinds of barbarians, which also included the Retii tribe I read about years ago. The people who used to live on this very land before the Romans arrived. He called this place Ratium and described it as a cluster of Jesus, I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Like, some words are really easy, but others I'm just like, what is that supposed to be? And it's people hostile and warlike, only interested in hunting and fighting. There was something about Manos and his sons, but I couldn't understand a lot of it. In any case, when the Romans came, most of these locals were driven out, but some were captured to work in the fields and the mines. What happened to the locals who were forced out? No idea. I would imagine that after the Romans were driven off, when their empire started falling apart, maybe the barbarians came back. But were they really the same people as nomads from elsewhere? I guess we may never know. Thank you for the quick history. I will let you get back to the festivities. Enjoy yourself tonight, Master Mala. Until later. This bonfire is much simpler than the one in Nuremberg, but it's pretty all the same. Alright, and we're gonna continue here talking to the other people like Brigitta and Karl next time when we continue with Pentiment, because for today this is gonna be everything I will be doing as part of this stream. But we made some really good progress. We got 2 days done pretty much in the second act here. And yeah, but because something major is gonna happen and that might lead to a chain of events, I don't want to start this next part of the story until the next stream, so I can make sure I have actually enough time to, you know, finish it proper and in like one go. But yeah, I think this is a good stopping point here to carry on next time. $40 minutes ago? What? No. I didn't save anything? Hold on. Let me just go over here. Let's go back. Yeah, that's better. 2 seconds. Because I want to make sure that all of the dialogues are saved. You know, they might still have some relevance later. For example, the fact that we talk to Baltas and that we can meet him in the North City at a later point. Maybe exchange some ideas. But yeah, for now, this shall be everything for today with Pentiment. Thank you all so much for coming by and for joining us today for more of this. We're gonna carry on at the latest on Wednesday with a longer stream of this, but I might be streaming in the evening times of Monday and Tuesday to carry on a bit further. And yeah, I think by next...
I sing a key for coins. If you spot me in the street, please kick me in the loins.
Didn't want to talk over that one. But yeah, I think by the end of next week we should definitely have finished with this act of Pentiment. And that also means getting started with AC Chronicles China, which I'm quite looking forward to. I still have to decide what kind of like playthrough or challenge I want to be doing with Chronicles China. But yeah, still got a couple of days to think about it. But yeah, for today, this is gonna be it. Thank you so much everyone for being here today. Cheers, Dr. Darling. Catch you next time. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your Sunday. You too, Amita. Catch you next time. Thank you so much for being here and for joining us. Right, today we're gonna go and say hi to Jay, because I don't get to raid Jay quite as often. He's currently playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and it's his first time playing for the game. If you would like to join us with a raid over to Jay, feel free to copy and paste the raid emotes in chat. And yeah, hope everyone is having a great rest of the weekend and Sunday. Hope you also have a good start into the next coming week. And yeah, take care and catch you all next time. Until then.